Yes, people, welcome up, man. Welcome back to Nicardo Media House. The Morning Insider Show is here to you again. Friday, the big day, which all Reggae Boys fans is waiting for. Because guess what? Every time when there is a squad announcement, everybody is optimistic. Everybody's eager to hear what will be the 23-man squad, who will be, and will it be a surprise player that never featured for the Reggae Boys before, you understand? But they don't know. The Morning Insider Show is here, ready to bring you guys in a lot of information around, CONCACAF Nations League, the group that Reggae Boys is in, the 2 games that's coming up. I have some information as well on Nicaragua and also on Honduras, and some little information surrounded the 23-man squad that's supposed to name today. As I said, this video will upload 4 hours before the start of the press conference, from the JFF head office, you understand? So we are looking into that. I think that will start around noon my time, you will say Eastern times, probably I think 11 o'clock Jamaican time. So yeah, we're ready for that, and we're very optimistic, and look, it's a challenge ahead, and we are looking for at least 4 points that will shore us into the next round of the Nations League. Because if we win and if we lose, things will not be in our hand. But if we want to take charge in our hand and make things move a little bit smoothly, we need at least 4 points, a win and a draw. But we are going for the kill. We are going for the 6 points, and then cruise going into the knockout round. Who will we face? We don't know as yet, you understand? Let's see. But it's very important for us to finish on top of the zone. But I mean, I will start off the video by playing a Khadija Bonisha interview that she have done with the BBC. I think it's very inspirational, for people to listen and just listen to what Khadija Bonisha have to say.
Bunny, you're a huge icon back home. You're obviously a massive role model as well for lots of young girls in Jamaica. Just how much do you feel that responsibility every time you put on the shirt, that you are representing those young girls and they're looking up to you as a role model?
I try to be the best that I can be, and I hope that just by me trying to be the best that I can be, there's others looking on and say, if I can do it, it's possible. So I think for me, it's just focus on what I can control first and foremost, and try to be the best person and the best player that I can on and off the pitch, and hopefully I can inspire a lot more girls back home in Jamaica.
Is that even more special to you to know that actually you're paving the way for other black women like yourself who want to break into the WSL and become an elite professional at the highest game?
Yeah, 100%, because when I was younger and when I look back on my childhood, I didn't really have a lot of people that I could look up to and say, apart from Usain Bolt, of course. I didn't have a lot of people to look where I could look on and say, oh, I want to be like that person's doing really well. One of the main particular, because I wasn't really allowed to play. But yeah, I think looking where the game is now and where the women's game is going, I think there's more room for that. And yeah, I think for me it's just being alive and being in the moment, and just being and staying true to who I am as a person, and hopefully by me doing that each and every day, yeah, it works out in the end.
Yeah, so big up Khadija Bonisha. That's what she have to say. Remember, the biggest number 9 in the world. Yeah, I'm not taking that back. Khadija Bonisha is the biggest number 9. I'm not talking about biggest in terms of body. She is the top quality number 9 in the world, and guess what? One day she will win that Ballon d'Or. I guarantee that. Yeah, one day Khadija will win that Ballon d'Or or come close to be on the podium in that top 3. You understand? Where she's going to be a world-class striker, as I think she's a world-class already. She's a world-class striker out there. She has very known in the space of women football. You understand? But I mean, moving on, to the 23-man squad. Look, you remember that video that I did, a couple of days ago? I don't remember if it was Wednesday, but I did a video a couple of days ago, and where I was talking about the players, coming back from international duties, after 2 weeks players are still feeling, the effect. Players are still feeling, some discomfort, fatigue in their muscle. A lot of our players, especially the English-based players that playing in the lower tier below the Premier League Championship, League One players, actually feeling the effect in their muscles. And now, what I have heard in the last 4 days from different coaches, you understand, different coaches like, from Sheffield, from Hull City, from Coventry, from Charlton Athletic, the teams, and from Oxford United as well, where Reggae is playing at the moment, but what the coaches and their coaching staff have been doing, the club doctors, they have monitoring these players very well, because they know that on the horizon, in probably 3 days from now, these players will go out on international duties. And what happened the last time with these Reggae Boyz players play in the Championship and League One, they returned to the UK very late, especially Casey Palmer. That very interesting interview that I let you guys listen, that even when he getting enough sleep, his body still recuperating from that jet lag, because flying into the UK, reaching the UK early Thursday morning or Thursday afternoon, and have to play again on Friday, just over 30 hours. It's not easy, you understand? So they still feeling the effect of that. But what is really happening now, these club managers, they rotate in the squad very well, and a lot of our players, especially in the Championship and League One, the fixtures have been busy playing games every 3 to 4 days, and a lot of our players are not getting enough 90 minutes. The reason for that, because of fatigue, they are managing their minutes, and players, resting. And also, I think one player did missing through suspension, and that was Deshaun Bernard. That's where he got a very valid rest. But he played midweek against Bristol City. I think it was on Wednesday. Yeah, he came out with a very impressive, performance. A man that, start the season, on and off, but the impressive performance that he put in, it's very solid, and they really like it. And the coach, Dan, I think, what's his name? I think his name is Danny Rowell, or something like Danny Rowell. He loved the Sean Bernard performances. And when you look at Oxford United, Reggae, he's been in and out. He's played, I think, the first couple of games after international break, and then they rest him as well. He have been resting for the last 2 games now. So looking forward for Reggae game. They played on the weekend. Casey Palmer still not up to par, still not managed to play 90 minutes. Joe Latibodier still not up to par, still not playing 90 minutes consecutively. Again, these club managers are managing the players that came back from international duty very late, because they know that these players will have a tough time ahead on international duty. So it's good to see that, these players. But I saw some players, name of like rumors to be confirmed just around by listening to other flaggers, what I should say, flaggers, YouTube flaggers as well, and getting some insights from the website, from their club website. I saw that, I think it was Sheffield. Sheffield have a goalkeeper that got called up for the Northern Ireland. He got called up for Northern Ireland, and they said they expect Deshaun and Jamal to follow suit as well, to get called up for the national team. I think it's Coventry as well, and Hull City. Rumors, they're expecting, Casey and Joel Latibodier to be in the squad, because when Adjurat got called up, for the US men's national team and Pochettino for the first time, they said that, Joel Latibodier is expected to be in the squad, so we expect to see, the same type of players. Not much major change will happen in this and that within this 23-man squad that's expected to name 4 hours later from now. So we expect the usual suspect, maybe on 1 and 2 changes, but we're not going to see a big overall 6-7 changes. We will see the same sets of players within the group, the core, the usual suspect. And I think the coach should have a better understanding of what's really going on now with the 23-man squad, with family players. He got like a month to travel around in England, knowing more and more of the players, especially the players that playing outside of England as well. So yeah, we're very optimistic, very eager to see the games and to see who will be on the list. But I want to get into different national teams and in the group B of League A, Nicaragua and Honduras. Start off with Honduras. Two massive news have been swirling around in Honduras for the last 2 weeks. I would say like a week and a half after club football have returned when they got beaten from the Reggae Boys in Honduras. Is two named Luis Palma for Celtic and also Romel Kyoto that played in Saudi Arabia, the former Houston. I think he used to play for Houston. Yeah, he used to play for the Houston Dynamo. Look, Romel Kyoto, what happened with him? He's under some disciplinary ban from Ronaldo Rueda. Top quality for Honduras. You understand? Last year, when they played that round of, I think it was the quarterfinal when they were hosting Mexico in the first leg in Honduras, that game where they won 2-0 in San Pedro Sula. What Romel Kyoto did, they called him up for that game, but Romel Kyoto rejected that call-up, didn't turn up for that call-up. What he have done, he went on and go to one of the largest islands in Honduras to celebrate his girlfriend's birthday. And from that day until now, Ronaldo Rueda haven't called up Romel Kyoto, and the news is swirling around. Will he get the call up? And what I have heard from different sources, by watching different videos on YouTube about the Honduras national team, more likely he will not be in the squad. Yeah, him still have up Romel Kyoto of what he done. He could get called up for your national team. The man said he might go party with him girlfriend. You remember what happened with Leon Bailey the other day? That is something similar is happening to Romel Kyoto. Romel Kyoto even knocked two past Damian Lowe team the other day, in the Saudi Pro League. But Luis Palma is getting less and less minutes for Celtic. I think he have played just 2 league games for out around 7. I think around 7 games played or 10 games played in the SPL, in the Scottish Premier League, and Luis Palma is their top man in Honduras team, and especially when you look at it, Anthony Choco Lozano, the guy, the captain, the leader, he have only scored 2 goals for Santos Laguna, in Liga MX, so he's not really on form. So they're looking for that second striker, they're looking for that balance that can, bring the goals in for the national team. So Romel Kyoto is one of those players, but again, reports said more likely he will be out again, and it's have to be a waiting issue to see when Romel Kyoto will appear back in the La H national team. And talking about national team, Nicaragua, another team that we're going to face. The first up is going to be a tough battle against Nicaragua. Marco Antonio Figueroa, the coach, the Chilean coach that coaching the Nicaraguan team. Yeah, he's been there for the last couple of years. The team is making a lot of stride, under Marco Antonio Figueroa, the national team coach. So it's like I think Nicaragua team is a very solid team. Why? Most of their players playing locally. Their last squad that they had, they have around 9 players that played for Real Esteli. That's the biggest team in Nicaragua. Yeah, the biggest club team in Nicaragua. And the second biggest club in Nicaragua, is Managua. Yeah, is Managua. They had around 3 to 4 players in the national team. So when you look at that, those 2 teams normally fill the national team with at least 50% of their players play locally in Nicaragua, and those players are playing at the highest level, playing week and week out in the CONCACAF Champion League whenever it's time. Now those players will play in the same tournament that Cavalier the Arnett, the Caribbean Cup. They are playing in that Central American Cup to get in the CONCACAF Champion League as well. So again, it's going to be tough, playing on an artificial turf again, but we expect a tough battle in our first game. It won't be easy. You understand? As much as this national team, Nicaragua, they only have like the last squad around 3 players that playing outside of Nicaragua in Europe, and those players are not even playing in the first division. A lot of those players are playing in the tier 2 in that country as well. So they're not playing at highest level, but again, very good team, and they expect a lot of their players to be back as well, just as Honduras is expecting a lot of their players. Honduras were missing around 4 to 5 players, key players, that is a player that can come off the bench, create an impact, and players that also did supposed to start. One of those players, I think it was a right back, he got injured in his club game in Honduras, and Nicaragua is expecting at least 2 more players in the national team that going to replace someone in the national team coming up in their squad announcement as well. So both national team, Nicaragua and Honduras, are expecting, players that will strengthen their national team. Just like the Reggae Boyz, we don't really have much players that need to get add back in the team. Others from probably, you will say C Fast, you will say a Bailey, and we don't know what the issue with Bailey. We will know tomorrow. And talking about our 23-man squad, but just hope the coach, knowing that the last squad we pick, 40% of that squad of defenders, around 9 defenders or 10 defenders we added in our last squad. We don't need that anymore. We don't need that. We need attacking players. We need central midfield players. We don't need to have 5-6 centre half with 2-3 wing backs. 2-3 wing backs is fine, but having 5 centre half, close to 6, we can't manage that. Steve McLaren, we need more attacking players. We see players that could offer a game changer off the bench in both games, home at Cuba and home away in Honduras. You understand? So looking at it after the game, man, it's big game coming up. Big game for us coming up against Honduras and Nicaragua. But people, this is the morning time. But people, this is the morning insider. Nicardo Media House. I'm out. See you guys next time. I see you guys. More like it will be the morning time extra, where I will do a squad reaction to the 23-man squad that Steve McLaren going to name 4 hours from now. So peace out, people. Salute. Out.